I'm going to start with the tarot today because I just did a tarot with my friend and it was pretty awesome. So I actually got into tarot originally because my college friend, my best college friend, she joined a skeptics club and it really affected how I changed my mind. I'm gonna charge you really quick, but also I feel like I'm just gonna wear shirts from now on because I felt so self-conscious doing the shirt. I might have to move my sister's stuff, but hopefully she's okay with it. That's another thing I need to talk about, but that's for another day. Yeah, she told me oh, 2 videos a day, you know? I gotta commit to posting. And she's right, I do need actions. It's okay, she's right. I got mad, but she's right. She knows me very well in terms of that. Okay. I was gonna talk about tarot. Okay. My favorite stuff, stuff you should know. They always have little rambles and then they get into their thing. Okay. So I'm not going to cut it, even though I really want to, and I've been cutting it. But just be authentic. Just do it yourself. Okay. So tarot. Okay. Also, I'm gonna do a sample, and hopefully I can post it on LinkedIn eventually. I might have to spaz it up. Okay. I'm definitely gonna I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Tarot. Why it's helpful. Okay. So I'll start at the beginning. So how I got into tarot. So my friend was in a skeptics club, and that really changed my mind about how we do things. So in her case, she relied on science, So a lot of religions rely on this weird belief, but she created a community where you can be skeptical about things. You can learn about different stuff, and that was super enjoyable, honestly. It was only 3 to 5 people, but I don't know, she really worked hard on her presentations, and she kind of figured out how tarot works. It's not magic, and it's basically cold reading people, oh, if there's a scar, you would just be oh, okay, you had a fire recently, based on your reaction, oh, okay, this really resonated with you, let me continue with that. I'm gonna do a basic thing on how to do a tarot. So it's pretty complicated. I'm not that good at it. I've had a few bad experiences where I gave tarots that they really didn't like, but for me it's more of kind of a spiritual thing. It's not necessarily one religion, right? It's just I feel the vibes, and I think it's true. And for me, it helps me think about what's happening around me. Okay, so it's always good to give an example after you figured out the concept. I'm wearing skimpy pants, which I don't really like. some of my viewers are guys, so I got a fan service done. Okay, so I'll kind of, I don't know, I kind of want to like put the tarot reading on the thing because it's so interesting, but I'm trying to stay low quality and easy, so I'm like more accessible to everyone and just like get my stuff out there. So I will just start with the middle. I think that's very interesting. You can actually see like the different decks or whatever, and my friend did a really interesting tarot where the middle is me and I have like obstacles and like subconscious and stuff. So in this case, my energy, my outside energy is death. So I think I just really need change. I hate when I get the death card. So I actually took it out because everyone reacts negatively and I want my tarot to be positive. And again, I think it's a spiritual thing because the instructions are, like put it in moonlight. There's so many different interpretations. And let me go through some of the cards, especially if you're new. So usually it's split into minor and major, and then they have ace, and they have it to it's basically like a deck of cards. So deck of cards actually originally came from tarot, and I learned that from stuff you should know, playing cards. So there's ace through, I believe, 10, and then there's a knight, and then a queen, and then a king, and a page. And each one represents something different. Honestly, I think you could just choose what you feel like is the most appropriate, but FYI, it's very, very hard to do a reading on yourself. I've been thinking of, doing some bullet journals where I just like write what I think. It's really not going to be aesthetic. Eventually I might make it aesthetic, but I definitely want to just try like getting it out there. I actually really want to do a bullet journal walkthrough, but I want to cover up some of it. Okay, so there's minor and major, and major has less because those are really, really important cards. So like that death card means that's like the most important. I need to like change, like my aura needs to be changed, and sometimes they account for upside down. Yeah. Okay. So with major cards, they are something like High Priestess, Death, Tower, Moon, Sun, Balance, World. So those evoke like actual words. And then minor is like a little less important, still important. So I really like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I think that correlates better with like what I think. So there's wands or sticks, there's water or cup, and then there's earth or pentacles, and then there's sword or air. So in the same way, sticks are something strong, right? You can put them in, like make trees. You can it's mostly for building. That's kind of what my friend kind of showed me. Each tarot deck is different, and I'll definitely try to go through the tarot. So water is like cup. So you're like kind of like holding stuff, giving it, storing it. It's more like you're being like emotional. Earth or pentacles, they're usually seen as circles with a star in it, and I think those are like balls. Usually they're like grapes or like something like material in the world. And I think the Earth Nation, has like a really strong foundation, and they're like living in Ba Sing Se. They're like they protect their Earth. They protect their material possessions and their like selves. And then sword, I think of as like you're supposed to think of it as wisdom. I don't know. I asked ChatGPT. I was like, I don't know how to tarot, so I just like choose whatever I want. And I have a deck I really like, so I might do one on that, and do one for someone else. Actually, I will do that, because a tarot series would be kind of cool. And it was kind of popular on TikTok. Yeah, I'm just doing random stuff, but hopefully YouTube's algorithm will get better than TikTok, because TikTok was really good. Yep. Okay. So there's a lot of things, and you can like take whatever you want. So for me, the most simple is just 3 cards. Okay, so the middle card is your present, the left card is your past, and then the right card is your future. So it kind of goes like in order, right, timeline wise, and you're right here. So past, future. Hopefully it gets in the right order. So my friend actually split it into like subconscious, like she did like a Celtic cross. That's like very, very complex, and for me it's really hard because I use a lot of symbolism, and I have like a specific deck, and I had like another deck too that was really cute, but I just couldn't. It was just hard to like interpret. I just didn't like it as much, and I joined this like Discord that really helped me with that. But I don't know. I learned a lot basically. I feel like I went over the main points, so let me do a summary since it was a little unstructured, and I do like giving a preview and a summary and then like what we're gonna cover. Okay, so I covered what tarot is. It's not magic. Like it's knowing the person, knowing what they want to hear, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it's completely fake, but if they trust you, they'll listen to your advice. And my friend said something interesting, like they can do whatever they want with the information, so I really shouldn't be afraid to like give them that information. But there was just too many cards, I couldn't remember it, and you're really supposed to go with what you feel, because you're like kind of like getting in touch with your inner self and with your feelings and kind of figuring out what's happening. The next thing I covered is what cards there are. I did not go through the major arcana because there's like so many and each one has a specific. I did go through the minor. There's 4 elements and also 4 cards. It's very similar to a playing card. Major is supposed to be like significant events because there's less. So I guess if my math is correct, which it should be, because I'm an engineer, but I'm not good at arithmetic. It should be ace and then to 10, so 9 cards, and then 4 cards, so 13 cards, 13 times 4 is 52, because that's the same number in the playing deck. Then I think there's like 13. Oh, that's convenient, right? And then I covered each suit or each element, and each element has its own like natural element that correlates to Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I would actually, so I like assigning homework. And first, if you're interested in tarot, you can give me a like and a subscribe and a comment. But I specifically I like giving homework. So my homework or things to think about is, have you played, I guess I'm actually interested. How many of you have played with like a deck of cards, and how many of you have watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? If you have not, I recommend that as a resource. And I guess if you're into tarot, I would definitely, there's like apps for it, so you can get into that. I think horoscopes are a little harder because they just tell generic stuff. If you don't want to get physical cards, just try some things online with like tarot and read up on it, and they like give you cards. I did used to use an app, and it was pretty interesting because you got one card and then they would tell you how you interpret it. But for me, that physical thing, and like you're supposed to put it in moonlight, that really makes a difference. So beginner homework would be, try it, and then, because you've already learned it, try it online. And the second one is, if you see it, I think you should open it and read it and touch it. And then I guess let's just do that until the next lesson, right? I don't want to overwhelm you with homework.